and welcome to my YouTube channel and blog. I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me for another card making tutorial. Today we are going to work on the November 2016 paper pumpkin. I really like this card. It is a really cute card to make, and the fact that we get to make more than one of them is always great. Paper Pumpkin outdid themselves on this month's card kit. They included Dapper Denim and Pear Pizzazz, 2 stamping spots. They also included a really cool stamp set. It has little houses and little trees and a couple of sentiments to choose from. They have colored envelopes. I really like when they put the colored envelopes because they coordinate perfectly with the way that the card is designed to be made. The card bases are note cards this time, and they're they're just the small standard note cards, and 3 different colors of die cuts. These are the cutest die cuts ever. I wish that Paper Pumpkin would maybe step it up a little bit and include some die cuts in their kits. So, hey Paper Pumpkin, give us some die cuts, please. It would be great. They also include the adhesive in their kit, and as you see, there are some glue dots that are on a strip of acetate, and they have some foam dimensional adhesive that is smaller than what the ones that we get as Stampin' Dimensionals from the standard catalog from Stampin' Up. This stamp set has some things that I think can carry over into my regular card making projects. There's a little cluster of stars, or you could say that they were a cluster of snowflakes. There's 2 larger sentiments and some smaller sentiments. There's some trees and some houses. So I can see definitely using this stamp set to make a maybe like a 3D card and have it be a little snowscape. I think that would be great. So this card that I am making here is off of the instructions. I didn't read, I will be honest, I didn't read the instructions word for word, but I glanced at them as I was making this video and I tried to match the picture. But I'm sure that the first thing you'll notice is that the card that I'm making does not match the picture. And that's because when I punched the die cut away from the paper, I didn't turn it the right direction. But that's something that I figured out as I went along, is that you can use it in either direction that you like. It looks good if it's turned to the opposite side, and you can flip it and have the hills on the left or the hills on the right. So it's really up to you. You can make this any way you want. Something I did different also on the first card is that I staggered those die cuts just a little bit taller in the back than the ones in the front. The card instructions do not tell me to do that, but I thought it would be something that was just add a little bit of interest. Sometimes the hills, as you look in real life, they appear at a distance to be taller, and it just kind of gives a little bit more depth. The thing that I did not use in this first version of the card is I didn't use the piece of vellum. And I kind of thought about how I wanted to do it, and then I kind of forgot. So it's just a matter of being able to know how you want to place everything and using what you have in the kit. I did use the twine, but I also forgot about the white sequins. So I was not batting 1,000 on this project. But I did remake the card into my own version, which we're about to see now, and I changed it up just a little bit. I didn't make many changes because I like the way that Paper Pumpkin has designed the cards. So here's what I did different. I did turn the die cuts to the right direction this time, and I used the stamp that is the large house and the small house. And so I used the Dapper Denim ink to give some interest to the different houses that fit onto the stamps. that some of the houses that are die cut do not actually have a stamp that matches it. Only 2 of them do. So I did a little bit of Stamp Off to give a lighter shade of Dapper Denim on the stars. And I decided to color the trees that were on the back on this die cut. I would match the color of this die cut to Pool Party. So I'll refer to it as the Pool Party die cut. I also added some trees directly onto the card base. And where I went different on this one is I did use the piece of vellum to go over this layer. The instructions tell me to put the layer of vellum up against the cardstock and then layer everything else in front of it. But I thought this might also give a little bit of a look of depth and show some distance. And there's always more than one way that you can get to where you're trying to go. This is going to be one way to show the look of distance is by adding that piece of vellum that makes things look a little hazy. This is the second layer, and I'll refer to it as the soft sky layer. I did have a stamp that matched that little house, so I decided to give some color to that. And I am now adding the trees. These trees match up the die cut for the trees perfectly, and there are 2 sets. Now you could use these trees in any kind of way. They're really cute, and I like the way that Paper Pumpkin made them to where they're staggered a bit. So that's going to help to create your own look of depth whenever you use it in another different project. These little mini foam adhesive dimensionals are really cute, but I still needed to get a little bit smaller just to give some support to the areas that are the trees. The one drawback that I found with this kit, and there were not many drawbacks, so don't get me wrong, the trees that are die cut are not really strong because it is a thin strip of paper that is connecting the tree to the hills and valleys. That tree, if you're not careful, it can seriously twist. It can maybe break off. I had one break off, and I had one twist around and end up underneath a snowbank. So I would caution you that whenever you go to put this project together, to be cautious of that white piece of die cut that has the trees attached to it. The twine in this kit is really pretty. I wish we could put this in the catalog. So Paper Pumpkin people, are you listening? We want to have a little more twine options. The silver sparkle is something that complements the whole overall color scheme, and I think it's great. I put a sentiment inside the card that is from the stamp set, and the sentiment reads, "May your days be merry and bright." Thank you for joining me for this Paper Pumpkin alternative card making video, and I invite you to go over to my website at jennystampsup.com to get more card making inspiration. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for watching the video. See you next time.